Well, as planned, I'm now getting into my own modifications of my Trillium Outback trailer. Now, if you've seen the videos in the past, after I'd purchased this trailer used, I brought it to the manufacturer to have them remove some things like the hot water heater, the water tank, the sink, and replace the counter because I wanted to modify it in my own way. Now, I didn't really explain probably what my intentions were because I understand there's a lot of people that just don't think outside the box. They're not really sure what I'm doing, and they make, let's say, a few judgmental comments. Now, in one of the videos, I closed with the elephant in the room. And my apologies for people that don't speak English as a first language. What an elephant in the room means is there's something present that makes people uncomfortable and they don't want to talk about it. And we call that the elephant in the room. And what I was referring to was having a big ass toilet right here. Now, as you can see, I'm normal height to this table now. The toilet is not there. It's going to be for several other uses now. And that's what this video is primarily going to be about, which doesn't appeal to a lot of people, especially if you don't have like an eggshell trailer or you don't need any modifications to your trailer at all. However, if you've been stressed out lately and had a hard time sleeping at night, then this video is probably for you because it's going to be the most boring video. You're going to be relaxed, you're going to sleep peacefully, probably you won't even make it halfway through it. So if you're not interested in construction, at least you'll get a good night's sleep. So enough talking. Let's start building. I finally get to get rid of the elephant in the room. I hate toilets, especially used ones. The nasty work. Oh, I think I got it. There. Finally. Oh my God. No more elephant.
Watch how the elephant tries to come back. No dice, you're out of here. With everything removed, I now had to patch up the hole. I made a plug from wood I just salvaged, and then mixed epoxy to secure and seal. It was so cold outside, I had to warm underneath the trailer so the glue would still cure. Further waterproofing would be required, but at least I had a good fit. Unfortunately, a bitter cold spell came through just as I was making progress. I put a tarp on the trailer to protect it from the elements, but any outside work would have to wait. I was able to work inside, however, as long as I heated it up first.
I want to show you the thermometer. Just so you know, I'm not kidding. It is minus 25 or minus 5 Fahrenheit. And the last thing I was working on was that scary corner. And that's what I'm going to continue working on. So I've got the plug in, and I've covered it with epoxy, sealed it in place. What I did find is after I started putting that in, there was actually a lot of rot behind here, and I had to fill that in with epoxy as well, which is another reason I don't like toilets and black water tanks in a trailer, because if there's any leakage, it rots out the floor, and that's exactly what happened. I don't think it's that bad, but it did take me, like 3 of those tubes of epoxy to fill that up. But the next step, and this is kind of the new thing, I'm improvising as I'm going. But here's what I want to do. I've got this area, and what most people would probably want to do is have some customized fiberglass. That would take a lot of effort, and I'm not ready at this point, but right now all I want to do is put something in here that's waterproof, that'll direct the water. And here's what I came up with. So what I have right here is a plain old laundry tub, kind you pick up at like a Home Depot. However, I trimmed the lip off and the sides and the back, and I also trimmed around the bottom so only the drain is sticking out. This is actually what used to hold the legs. But I've trimmed that right down because I've got to keep it as small as possible. So, hopefully this works. So it fits in there. Now, next step, I've got to locate the drain hole because it's just sitting on the drain right there now. So but I gotta also make sure the trailer is level, but I gotta position it exactly and make sure it's level before I start, or once I put it in, it's all going to be going out to one side and not down the drain. Now after I get that done, I still want to use this. Like right now it won't fit because the tub's in the way, but what I'll do is I'm going to cut out all this around here so there's room for the tub underneath, but I do want to keep some of this just because that, I don't want water going in the back like it is there.
The tub had a smaller diameter drain at a different location, so I drilled a new hole.
Well, the next part is pretty simple. I just got to find scraps of wood and just place them around and just see if I can find a spot where the tub is settled and it's not wobbling. So Did this a couple of times and I think that's about it. Let me try. That doesn't seem too bad. It's got a little bit of a wobble right in this corner, but it's only like a 1/16 of an inch. Just want to make sure the bottom is supported so it can take my weight. And I guess I can now try and see how much space I got in there. In I go. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, it's a little snug. Not much headroom, but I do have my shoes on. But I can fit in. Squat down a little bit if I need to. I think that's good. And the good thing about being my age is in time I'm only going to get shorter. So, 5 years from now I'll be like this, and then 20 years now from this. So I'll have lots of head space. Maybe I'll just stick a brush there so I can just go up and I go, there, clean my scalp.
Making sure the tub floor was sloped properly is very important. Using a level, I made sure all sides were tilted towards the drain.
Well, here's that corner after I've done a few more modifications to it. And one of them is this side wall. And that was made from plywood I rescued from the cover of the toilet, as well as the fabric. So I just cut it to suit, glued the fabric back on, and it seems to look in place like it's supposed to be there, partly because that fabric is the same fabric on the wall, so that kind of worked. But I also have 2 pieces of wood on the top with hinges, and that comes up like that and comes down. I'll explain that a little later. But let me just show you what's inside. There's the 3 support pieces for the tub so that it's secure, it doesn't rock anymore. And underneath, and I'll just take this off for now. Underneath there, I've glued a piece of plywood in, and that's what's going to support the pump. And this piece is actually support so I can use that side for a little bench. Well, I can't show you how the entire shower is going to be completed in this video, but I can show you how I'm making this area multifunctional. So let me just put back together the pieces, what I have so far in this area, because there's still a lot more I have to do in here. I've got to include the pump, do the wiring, the hoses, the switch, but I also know it's going to be really cold down here, especially on the feet, so I have to add an insulation as well. So that will happen, but let me just show you the concept. So I'm just going to start putting things back together. So the tub fits like that. And this back piece goes there. And the next step is putting that original piece of molding back in place. I like this area here, which has been cut back, but any water that's here just drips down into the tub. And because I've reinforced this, if I have to sit down while I'm using the shower, I can sit right here. And actually, it works quite well. But wait, there's more. because I also have a piece here that'll fit like that. Now, what I expect to use that for is if I need a table, but it can also be another bench. Now, the way it is here, it's level, so I can actually put my stove on it. Hint, hint. I'm not going to do that yet, but it's a possibility. But I also have another piece of plywood which goes here, and that turns this back into a bench and a seat. Now, there's one more thing I can do with this, and that is if I put that up like that, and you'll notice right here it's not even. This piece is higher than that. So what I do is I take this hinge piece and put it up. Now they're on the same level. Why would I want to do that? Because I found out that a normal lawn chair cushion fits perfect in this space. So if I wanted another lie down area, I've got it. That's why I call this multifunctional. I've got a shower underneath here, I've got storage space under here, and I've got a bench under here. Over here, I've got storage, I've got a bench. Here, I've got like a lounge or a sofa. I can use any area to sit on. So now it's multifunctional, and that's what I wanted in the first place. I think it's going to work well, and it's just so better use of space. I'm kind of happy with it. Unfortunately, we live in an instant gratification society these days because people watch do-it-yourself videos where they've got a whole house modified in half an hour and they expect me to follow that. Well, no, that's not going to happen. It's going to take me a lot of time to do all these modifications because I'm only using my own ingenuity and trial and error, and nobody's helping me. It's just myself. Also, the fact that it's a little hard to get supplies, so I'm going to be using a lot of salvage as opposed to buying new. So it may not be the prettiest thing, but as long as it's the most functional thing, that's all I care about. But bear with me, you're not going to see the full revised and modified trailer next week. Ain't going to happen. It's probably going to be over a period of several months. But what my intent is probably later on in the year, I'm going to take, which is, like part 3 and 4 and 5, and mix them all and put them all together. So if you want to see, like for example, working on a shower, you don't have to go through 4 videos. I'll put the final result and go through the steps later on. But for now, just bear with me. It's just about trying things out. Some things are going to work. Some things are going to be a little bit more challenged than I thought it was, but I'm still going to have fun doing it. And that's the main thing.
So in summary, what did I accomplish? Essentially, I took a one-purpose space and made it multifunctional. It can now be a lounge area or converted to a low-level shelf, while still keeping the regular table for normal use. Where the water tank used to be is now extra storage space. But the big difference was removing the awkwardness of the previous design, returning the bench to the right height, and reclaiming the space below to storage, with the additional bonus of a shower and clothes washing area. Now I can tackle the next group of ideas.
Well, that's it for the coffee. I guess I better finish this video so you can watch it. But in the meantime, check out my other ones.
Well, if you're still awake, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please check back as I continue to progress through my trailer makeover.
Also the fact that it's a little hard to get supplies, so I'm going to be using a lot of salvage as opposed to buying